Good evening, everyone. We're going to do some live streaming tonight. This is my first live stream, so please take it easy on me here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over a nice little build that I've been working on. It's a single bar MagPlar build. So how I'm going to start things up here is I'm going to run around the dungeon here a little bit just to give everybody a feel for how the build works, and then we'll give people a chance to dive in here, and then we'll go over how the build itself goes here. I'm saying here a lot. Must be there. Alright, here we go. First off, this group here. Kill them. No problem. Yep. Missed him and him. They're gone. Alright. That's an easy feat. Any area of effect could do that. So let's find something more challenging to kill. Maybe two of these. I'm in Inch Lefting, by the way. It's one of my favorite dungeons. I actually love this place. I used it to level up almost every character I have. I figure by the time you can solo this all the way through and kill all the bosses in here, you're pretty much ready to run dungeons. And when I mean dungeons, I mean like, you know, the vet dungeons and so forth. So, jump around down here. Again, looking for a challenge. Let's try this. Alright. So this, again, easy peasy lemon squeezy. What I'm doing is I'm heading for one of the bosses down here. Actually, two of them, to be honest. We'll start with big troll boss down here when I get down the bottom. Have fun watching along. Feel free to comment. Tell me how crappy I play. I don't have a problem with that. The way I look at it is I play for fun. But if what I can show you might allow you to play better, all the more. So, I'm almost down here, where I want to be. And then once I get down there, I'm going to go over the build. But I just, again, want to give you an idea of what you can do with this. Now, if you see, my magic is down, but of course I'm running around, so I'm going to get it back, so it's not a big deal. So, what I'm looking for... Hey, hello there. Don't know how to say your name, so I'm not going to say hi to you. Alright, Kina Kanoko or whatever. Alright, so, here we go. This is the Mud Tusk. We're going to beat him up really fast. Throw down the big gauntlet, and we're going to roll around him a few times. Make him wish we never showed up. Okay, so I'm watching my magicka, and as you noticed, my bar only went halfway down. I just killed a boss. No problem. Pretty cool, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to one other boss here that I'd like to show you before I get into the build. We'll just kill some things along the way here. Get our ultimate build up again. Won't take much. I'm already up to 35. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah. Spiders. Love them. They die easy. Alright, goodbye guys. Alright. Up here is one of my little favorites in here. I can run up and catch them. Yep. Well, we'll do this first. See a group like this and you're running solo in a public dungeon, unless you have a high level build, you're probably going, I gotta check my underwear. Not good, not good. But this build, no problem. Killed them right off. So let's go up here a little higher. And yes, there they are, two Dwarven Centurions. Normally these guys can give you a lot of trouble. This build, not so much. 2003, gone 3 seconds, and I think it was actually 2.5. But yeah, that worked good. So let's go down here into the Bailey. There's a boss down here I want to nuke just because I hate him. As a matter of fact, it's not one, it's two. These guys down here, Friedel Hadalaw, and I don't even know what the name of the other one is. But these guys killed me over and over again when I first started. I just couldn't get past them. And now I laugh at myself. So here's what we're going to do. is I'm going to nuke them, but the thing is, I need a little more ultimate first. So let's just go grab a little bit more real quick. T20, and now I'm going to show you how fast we nuke those guys. Alright. The ruins! Ah. One of my favorite parts right here. So, all these guys, they're going to be gone in 2 seconds. 1, 2. Here they go. Bye-bye. And that didn't give me quite enough ultimate, but got me to near where I need to be. I'll get the rest right here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Good ultimate. All right, let's take it back and have some fun with it. Because after all, sharing is caring. And I care a lot about these guys I'm about to beat up. Going up, going up, going up. Ah, getting exhausted from all this running. And we'll open the big doors. Back here are the guys we're going to nuke. And when I say nuke, I mean nuke. Alright. Keep an eye, because this won't take long. Squoosh! Boom, boom, boom. They're gone. Oh yeah, they brought some friends too. They can die as well. So, question is, what makes this bar work or build work, and is it truly a 1-bar build? If you've been watching, the one thing you notice is I have not switched the bar once. I stay on this bar the whole time. This is a single bar build. Kind of rare in ESO because all the builds that I've ever used, other people have, are 2-bar builds. You go back and forth between the bars and make sure everything is just right. And you know, it kind of takes the fun out of the game. I just like to get in and twitch and shoot things. I mean, I come from background where it was first-person shooters, and all we did was, you know, just click the button to shoot, and that was great. Here, I got to worry about all these different buttons. So I thought, how can I make a build that's so simple, and yet I can get into public dungeons? I can do the big dungeons. How do I do this? So I sat down and figured all this out. And first thing I did was figured out, what do I need to be able to keep myself powerful? If you noticed, I have food down the corner here. There's 20 minutes of it left. That's the only item that I have. I eat regular food. I just come in here, and it's just, oh, where is it? Where is it? Trust me, it's there. I eat it all the time. It's the chicken. Yes, crown fortifying meal. So I'll eat pop one of those. I'm good for 2 hours. Now, beyond that, I don't do anything extra. Everything that comes out of this is part of the build itself. So I'm going to start by looking at, with you, the actual components of the build. And we're going to start by going through the gear that I use. This is standard gear. What I wanted was a build that anybody could do. You do not have to run dungeons all day to create this build. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I wanted this build to be the most basic in the world. So what I did was I focused on 2 things: Julianos and Mother's Sorrow. So what I did was I collected all the different light items I needed for everything that is armor. It's all Julianos. Every bit of it. Every one of them has Magicka and Divines. And what this does is boost my Magicka, and at the same time, it increases my Mundus Stone, which what I'm using for this build is the Thief, because I want it to be a crit build. And if you're not familiar with a crit build, you probably already are, but if you're not, a crit build is, what it's going to do is, whenever you're under the percentage, it's like a roll of the dice. Let me show you where my crit is. So 72.3 is my spell critical. What this means is every time I cast a spell, there's a dice roll. If the number comes up to if the 1 through 100 number comes up to under 72, then I do a lot of damage. So the whole idea of the crit build is to get your crit up there really high so that you're doing a lot of damage often. And the way I do that is with the Mundus Stone. Every item I have that's armor has this Mundus Stone effect of adding 6.5%. And if you add all those numbers up, it equals something. I'm not sure in my head what it is. I think it's about maybe 35%, somewhere around there. But it's a lot of extra damage, is what it means. So what you want to do for this build is you want to get the shoes, the sash, the cuirass, the helm, the epaulettes, gloves, and breeches. Now you will notice this one is not Giuliano. And you say to yourself, well, Ken, you just talked against yourself. You just got done saying how everything is Giuliano's. That's because I was playing with it earlier. I was being naughty. I'm going to put it right back to where it was, just to prove that, you know, it is what it is. So let me draw up my little guy here that has my stuff. Come bring my stuff to me. There he is. You're always hiding behind me.
Speak with me a moment.
I will speak with you. I want my stuff. All right, so what I'm going to ask for is my, what was it I wanted again? See, I wasn't even paying attention. My gloves. My gloves. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my gloves from this guy. Once I talk to him again.
How can I help you?
There he is. All right. So try it a little slower this time. I want my gloves. Okay. You heard me. Got my gloves. Okay. So this is Giuliano's. Again, all Giuliano's. That's all these are. Every single one of these armor items. 2 of these items are heavy. Reason being is I need 5 lights to be able to do the good stuff with light armor, which I'm going to go over that in a bit. 2 of the other 2 are going to be heavy items, and I'm going to use those for extra health. I shouldn't say health, I should say damage mitigation. That's the actual proper term. It doesn't increase my health, just makes me harder to kill, which is always a good thing. So I have 2 of the items are heavy. It could be any 2 you want. It does not have to be the helmet and the chest. It's up to you. But that's just my preference. And then, of course, I have the other 5 here are all light. The other side of the build is Mother's Sorrow. And for the Mother's Sorrow, I have the necklace, the rings, and the lightning staff. Now, the necklace and the rings come as arcane. I probably Bloodthirsty would be better. What I'm getting is I'm taking things that I literally bought, like either bought them or managed to come across them. Most of them I bought. So this is a build that anybody can buy into just by using the currency within the system. You don't have to spend any real money. You just go out there, get gold in the game, and exchange it. No big deal. So I have those 3 there, all arcane. And then my lightning staff. This is where I invested my gold because this is where most of my damage is. This is very special. And I want you to look at this and notice that it deals extra magic damage. So it's extra damage beyond the regular amount. And it also restores magicka. So this is where some of my magicka comes back. That prevents me from taking so long to get my magicka going again. Very important piece of hardware. And I invested probably a good, I'd say good 60 grand on this if I remember right. So it was pretty expensive, but it was the only item that I had to spend a lot on. Everything else I use is just the regular pink quality. This is my only yellow item. Again, trying to make this build for everybody, not just me. Now, the question is, why am I using Mother's Sorrow and Giuliano's? I can answer that. Giuliano's has a lot of spell crit in it, and if you're running a crit build, you want to do a lot of damage when the crit hits. So adding up that spell crit allows you to do a lot of damage when the crit hits. Ta-da! And the thing is, Mother's Sorrow and Giuliano's both have a ton of spell crit on them. That makes them beautiful. One of the things I'm doing later to make this build even better is I'm noticing that I have a waste here of 2 items that are, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Julianos. I really only need 5. So what I'm going to eventually do with this build is take 2 items and make them necropotents. Again, trying to get more out of the build. But for now, this is where it's at. And again, this is something anybody can do. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So that's the highlights of what I have for gear. Again, nothing special at all. Just a regular necklace of Mother Sorrow, regular ring of Mother Sorrow, lightning staff of Mother Sorrow. This doesn't even matter. I'm going to unequip that. I'm not even using that weapon. Makes no difference to this build whatsoever. The other thing that people may or may not be aware of also is if you're using a 2-handed weapon, it counts as 2 slots for the build and 2 slots as far as the set goes. So even though I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 items for this set, it counts as 5 because the staff counts as 2 items. So I always like to point that out to people. Like I said, probably being Captain Obvious there. Everybody almost certainly knows that by now, but just in case there's someone out there that might not know it. Because I will be posting this on YouTube as well at a later date to help people out. So that's the hard facts of the physical build itself. Let's talk about the skills. So as far as the skills go, just only using 6 items here. 1 bar. I promised you that. I'm serious. 1 bar. We have Blazing Spear. And what Blazing Spear is it just drops down in a large area of effect, a damage over time. And it just keeps raining down these spears. And as long as everybody is around you, they all get hit, they all get damaged over time. It's a nice little drop. Next thing is Solar Barrage, which what it does is it throws out like fire and flame out from your body, out around you, attacks things around you. That's pretty cool. What makes this really better though is it also increases the damage of your light attacks by 40%. That's huge. So that means whenever you're using light attacks while the solar barrage is going on, they're doing 40% more damage. That's amazing. Blockade of Storms, anybody will tell you that this thing is killer. You just drop it down. Anything that's sitting in it is going to take a lot of damage over time. It also knocks enemies off balance for several seconds, and it can set off concussion. So it's an all-around damager. It really does a great job. And finally, this is the big plus in the build, is Puncturing Sweep. Puncturing Sweep makes this build phenomenal because not only does it do damage to multiple enemies in front of you, it also heals you, and it heals you big. In fact, it heals for 40% of the damage done. So the more damage you do, the more healing you get. And this is truly why some people out there have a problem with the MagPlar, because a lot of people run these Puncturing Sweep builds and they're like, all you ever do is Puncturing Sweep, you know? And yeah, that might be true, but if you look at all the other builds, they're just going through the same rotation over and over again. So while they're doing 10 different items, I'm doing 4, because the last item, Inner Light, is just to boost my damage. But going back to Puncturing Sweep, is it cheap? Yeah, perhaps. But at the same point, it's getting the job done. And if you're in a vet dungeon and you're doing a lot of damage, nobody cares how you did it. Nobody cares. They're just glad that they got through that thing. So again, Puncturing Sweep is huge for this build. Inner Light, increases your max magicka by 5%. It also increases your spell crit rating, which allows you to do even more damage. It does a lot more damage with it. Trust me. And then the final piece de resistance of this build is Thunderous Rage, which Thunderous Rage is just, it's the best. You drop it on a boss and you just let it roll for a long time until it's done, and it takes off probably with everything else you're doing. You can do I've already had it do up to 200k with everything thrown at once. And that's what I want to do. Is I want to go down to Shadow, I think it's Shadow Reaver, I'm not, or Storm Reaver, I'm not sure what his name is, but there's a big spider down below. I'm going to go down and beat the daylights out of it just to show you just how crazy this thing is. So let's run down there using our build, and I'm looking to see if there's anything else to go over. But again, this is a very simple build. There's just nothing else to it. As long as you have these items. And, oh, another thing of note is for Adric Spear, take all the passives. Dawn, and the reason you're taking all the passives is it's to help with the Blazing Sphere. Dawn's Wrath for Solar Barrage, take all the passives. Restoring Light, you don't have to do anything with that. You're not using any of that class, so that's a savings right there. With your weapon, Destruction Staff, again, take all the passives. And you want to make sure you get this level 50 so you can get the Elemental Rage. That is huge. For the armor, light armor, take all the passives. And this is why you're getting 5 pieces, because when you get 5 pieces of light armor on you, you get Prodigy, which again increases your spell crit to do more damage. You're also going to increase your spell penetration, which means it's going to hit a lot harder on the enemies. Very important. Your heavy armor, you're wearing 2 pieces of it, so you can get some benefit here. You can do Resolve, which increases your physical and spell resistance a little bit. Constitution increases your health recovery. Also does a little bit of Restore of the Magic and Stamina when you take damage. And Juggernaut increases your health a little bit. These are small bonuses, but they're bonuses nonetheless. Don't bother inviting in Revitalize and Rapid Mending to your build, because you need 5 pieces of heavy armor to do this. You only have 2. It's not going to work. Don't bother. As far as things in the world, this has got to be the best reason to finish this crazy game with every single character you have. And that is to unlock the whole soul magic all the way up to level 6, because you're going to get some things here that are very awesome. Soul Summons allows you to revive once every hour. So if you get stupid and die, and yeah, I do it sometimes, I get too brave, it's like getting a mulligan. I get to live again. And then I have to be careful for an hour. Another one that is really, really good is Soul Lock, because when you kill an enemy, it has a 10% chance of filling an empty soul gem. If you look up, and I don't think you can see my mouse, but up here under the rook, it shows 0 out of 357. That is how many, the left number is how many soul gems I have that are not filled. The right number is how many that I have that are filled. This thing fills soul gems like crazy, because if you're running dungeons or you're running through, the delves, you'll pick up all kinds of these crystals, and it's just beautiful to have them just keep adding up. As long as you don't die, you can use them, keep building them up forever. I also have Vampire. I don't really use it. I played around with it a little bit, but I don't know. Other than making some money when people want to get bit and become a vampire, it's not a whole lot there for me. So it's not really part of my build. In fact, I keep my vampire at level 1 all the time, just because if you get down to level 4, yeah, fire's not fun. So vampire's not truly a part of this build. Fighters Guild, Mages Guild. Fighters Guild you don't really need. I mean, if you're going to play the content in the game, you want intimidating presence, just because there's sometimes it makes some of the things you have to do easier inside of the quests. Other than that, there just isn't a whole lot you can do with Fighters Guild. I've played around with it, and it hasn't done anything for me. Again, with Mages Guild, Persuasive Will is a good thing. for the quests. Other than that, doesn't matter. I also started going through the Sigic order. I haven't finished it yet. That's a lot of work to do to get that leveled up. I have another character. I went through it, and it was just too much. So I'm just not bothering with that. Undaunted. I've been doing a lot with this lately, which is I've been going through public dungeons. Not public dungeons, I'm sorry. The regular dungeons. We're talking City of Ash, the Spindle Clutch, those dungeons. And I've been going through them solo lately and boosting up little by little my Undaunted. This is from me just playing around solo. I mean, I do get in groups sometimes, but for the most part, I'm on my own. And I'm going to show you how we're going to go through one of those dungeons. So to show you that exactly, you can make this build work inside an actual real dungeon. Racials, I always take all that. So, that's the skill set. No surprises. Again, this is a very basic build. It's supposed to be that anybody could do this. So if you look at the sky shards here, I have, in the skill points, I'm not using very many skill points. I might be using, as a best guess, probably about 100 skill points, if that. I don't even think I'm probably using about 100 skill points, would be my guess. So let's go down to the basement and beat up Steam Reaver just because he needs it. So let me get reoriented here so I know where I'm going. Always hate it when I go the wrong way. And we'll jump in here, go down to the ruins, and run down here, pick on my favorite guys. Oh! Put up the eye there. Let them know they aggravated me. Did nothing, but it was fun. It was worth it. Alright, so we'll go down here, beat up these guys. Yeah, come on now. Alright, no ducking it, just take it. That's a good boy. Alright, so go in here. Da 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 da. Now you'll notice that every now and then when we hit the crowd, one guy will just kneel and just sit there. It happens. It's just one of the things about this build. And all you have to do is just do nothing until they stand up and then just hit them quick. They're dead. It's just every now and then there's a smart one that knows how to duck. Alright. Alright, running through here. Da 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 da. And we'll get to Steam Reaver actually really quick. This here is a loop. I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, but...
Hello there.
Goodbye, Tithus. This is a loop that I use with a lot of my characters when I'm trying to level up. And of course, you have to have some kind of area effect to make this work, but we'll start with just getting rid of these guys rather slowly. And then we'll ramp it up from there. So we'll go up to here. Kill him. And then once we get here, we'll just ignite these guys. Come on. Alright. Alright. This guy's fun because he brings the spiders. Remember, I love killing spiders. Yeah. And some for you. Because you felt lonely there. Alright. So, let's have a little fun with this now. I'm going to let that big guy over there. Take these guys out real quick. Yeah, they're gone. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a hold of this guy. Make him mad. Nuke everybody. Gone. Alright. This group here, the secret is to hit right there. They're gone. You want to kill this guy? Hit him in the belt. He's gone. Oh. Now, up ahead here is the guy I'm looking for. Not quite there yet. We'll get there. Alright. Drag everybody over together. And you'll notice the one thing I'm doing for all times here is I'm trying to get everybody to group around me. Because when I do, then they feel the full effect of my rage, if you want to call it. Or spells. That's the actual truth of it. I'm a very friendly person. No anger. Just don't like these guys. Alright, so here again. Drop the bomb on them. I'm going to start announcing out the numbers I'm hitting here on things here. So you can actually get a feel for how it's going. So, Blazing Spear, Solar Barrage, Floor of Electricity, blah blah blah, Piercing, and I just keep throwing the Piercing at him. He's gone. So fast. So fast. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard. So, how I'm doing this in the background, because obviously you can't see my hands. Sorry, I don't have a camera. Is I'm always tapping away at the light attacks, and then I'm hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Sometimes I'll change it around a little bit, not so much though. Again, this build is meant to be simple. So, I hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This time I'm just going to hit 4 because he's almost dead anyway. What's the point of hitting with something else? 2, 4. Boom. Gone. So, this is the guy that stole my fries. So, I'm going to go down there and kick his butt. So, first off, we're going to look. He has 338k worth of health. So, might take a little bit of time to get this guy. Oh, there's somebody else down here. I didn't want to help her. Alright, whatever. This will go even faster. Now I'm just hitting 4. Boom, he's gone. I don't know if the other guy had so much to do with that or not. But it made him feel great. Alrighty. So, let's take this up to the next level because, you know, it's actually pretty lame just going through a public dungeon. We need a little more action here. So, I'm going to hop over to Green Shade. I'm going to go to City of Ash. And we're jumping over. And waiting and waiting and waiting. At least we get to look at this pretty picture. Which, considering I'm part vampire, probably is pretty frightening for me right now. Doesn't make sense that I'm going to actually go into a dungeon that has the most fire in it. Only level 1. It's not going to hurt so bad. Loading, loading, loading. Loaded! Okay. So, before we go any further here, let's just unload my junk here, make some money. Hey, where'd you go? Aw, naughty, naughty. Disappeared on me. Alright, come here.
How may I serve?
How may I serve you? Yeah. Hand over your wallet. Instead of making me keep selling things to you. Alright. And... good to go. Alright.
Anything I can do.
Say goodbye to our friend. Alright. So, this is City of Ash. May or may not be familiar with it. What we're going to do is we could go this way and wind all the way down through all the craziness, or we can just jump straight down. I like the jump, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm 50-50 on this, because for some reason I like to crash and burn and die at the bottom. So I'm gonna line it up, make sure I got it right, and Geronimo! Hey! Alright, we got a good one. Good splash. Alright, so we're going to go off here to look at the map. We're going to start on the left. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I make my own music. Someday I'll be wealthy enough to actually give real music. I might get more viewers then. It seems to scare them away when I sing. Alright. Regardless. And these guys. Da, 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 da. Now this is, in all fairness, this is on normal. This is not vet, so I don't want anybody going, wow, he's really good. He can beat that on vet. Actually, what you should be saying is, wow, he's really awful. He's playing this on normal. That's okay. I can accept that. I take all criticism. All right, so beat up these guys. Take on the big guy first. There we go. They're done. Yep. There's only 3 of these. The guys always bring friends. Always trying to invite people in my party. It's not right. Da, 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 da. Don't forget these guys. Make sure you get rid of them because, again, they will kill you if you don't get them. You notice I'm staying away from the guy up there. I want to get him alone. I want some alone time here. Alright. Buddy. Hey, let me give you a hug. Nah, you stink. Alright, I'm going to come down here then. And we'll throw down a little bit of thunder. And hit him with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Middle of the bar. Now I'm going to take and hit him with a heavy attack, hold it down to recover. This is why I'm using the lightning staff, because it's so easy just to hold that button down and recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, using light attacks in between. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2. And while that's playing on him for a while, I'm going to recover some of my health. Because this guy is stupid. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's starting to hurt me. Hey! Not cool. Not cool. Mommy didn't tell you how to play with others, evidently. Oh, and you bring fire into the game. That's good. That's good. Something about the vampire in me just loves that. Alright. So I'm going to back off a little bit here. Electrify him a bit. And then I'm going to beat on him again. Oh! I saw that. That was just mean. You're going to get paid on for that one. Alright, he's almost dead, so I'm just going to finish him off. I'm not going to worry about being fancy about it. Now, because we're in City of Ash, I can ride my horseback. Saves me some running. Alright. And let's see here. No bad guys. Alright. They're gone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the other side. There's... Who shot that? Oh, come on! It's just in flight. Yeah, you like the errors now, huh? Huh? Sorry about that. Look, they made it personal. Alright. So let's run down here. Dun, 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 dun. And going this way. these guys. Alright, gone. Whoop, you two. Oh, yeah. You two can be honored. Lightning beats fire. Yes. Okay, and we'll run up here. Now, I'll give you some sage advice when I get up here. We'll get there first before we give you the advice. Makes sense. So we'll beat these guys up. Oh. Yep, I see you over there. Yeah. Okay, so as we get up to the top here, there's another baddie up here. Now, there's two ways you can take care of this guy. The first thought is, you know, let's just nuke him. However, we're not going to do that, and I will show you why. Yep, we're going to get killed here if we don't find an enemy quick. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Alright, now the one thing I want to point out, look at my health bar now. It was up to 20,000 earlier. It's now down to 15,000. What has happened in the process through this dungeon is I ran out of my food. So, I have two choices here. I can eat more food, or I can just tough it out. Now, the one thing I want to make clear is this build is tough. I mean, this is a good build. I'm not going to eat any more food. I'm just going to go with what I have. Maybe I'll die, maybe I won't. This guy up here is one of the more tougher characters in this dungeon. He's not one of the more tougher in ESO, I know that, but he is one of the more tougher in this dungeon. Now, I'm not talking about this dude, I'm talking about the one that follows him. This guy is, again, the one I said don't waste a ultimate on. You're going to just see how I just circle around him and make an idiot out of him. Oh, touche. He's gone. Say. No need for an ultimate on him. It's the next guy that you need the ultimate. And what happens is if you use your ultimate back there, you can't start off with it up here. This guy, you kind of want to kill as quick as you can. Because what he's going to do is he's going to throw down fire at his feet and just make himself a literal nuisance. So, when he... let's throw something at him. Get him mad, hit the block, and now, seeing as he's ready to play, let's beat up on him. Throw the gauntlet down, boom, boom. Now, I'm going to have to come up quick swinging. So, here's the thing about this build, if you don't have the extra food on, is if you get knocked down and your health is low, you got to come up with the form. You got to come up using that javelin. Because if you don't, you're not going to get your health back, and you're going to get killed. But as long as you remember that, you'll be fine. See, that time I didn't have to come up swinging. I was fine. This time I do. Now what I need to do is recover some of my magicka here. And somewhere along the line here, oh, see? There you go. I got killed. That comes back to what I said. You got to come up swinging. You got to be hitting that puncturing sweep when you come up. So let's go back to the fight here. This time we'll do it right. Now, if I had my food, I would have been okay, and I would not have had to come up using puncturing sweep. I could have come up using anything. There we go. The other thing is it helps to avoid the fire. Oh. Be careful when you get down there, because sometimes that can be a mess to get out of. There we go. We'll get some of my health or magicka back. And just heard the bing bing, which means that little bell tells me that it's time to hit an ultimate. Come up swinging. When I say come up swinging, you do not hit the light at all. You just keep smashing, smashing away at puncturing sweep, because you have to get one or two in there hits real quick, or you're gonna get killed. Just like that. Told you, he's tough. Third time's gonna be the charm. Like I said, this is the challenge. Can I do it without the food? And I promise you I can. I've done it before. Just I'm talking more than I'm concentrating. There we go. Now we're in control. Now you see what I'm doing. Every time he knocks me down, again, I come right up with a puncturing sweep. That's not normally how I would do this, because again, I'd have the food and I wouldn't need to. But because I don't have the food, I have to immediately come up with it. Because if I don't, then he wins. I can also block when he hits me, but again, I don't always see it. I'm not the best player in the world. I'll admit to that. But I get the job done. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to drop an ultimate now. There we go. Hit the fours. Yeah, the fours be with you. There we go. And this guy's about toast. There he is. As promised, I did not dip into the chicken. The other thing I noticed, and I'm just looking down here right now, is during that fight, I also had my lightning staff lose its charge. I don't know whether that happened in the middle of it or towards the end, but we'll fix that. Won't make any excuses for that. So, there we go. We got through that. And believe it or not, at least in my honest opinion, he's the toughest guy in the City of Ash. The rest of these guys are not so bad. So, getting through that was a big thing. So, we'll get back here. Okay. Oop. Missed my turn. Nope, I didn't miss it. Now you notice I got all my ultimate back already right there, just through that pack alone. That was crazy. Okay. Now, up there is another baddie that I'm going to nuke. Charge our magic up here, because he's really not hurting me. But now I'm really going to hurt him. The other thing to be aware of with this build is that the amount of health you get back and the power of the spells also is dependent upon the levels of magic and health, obviously. So when I don't have food, I'm not as powerful as normal. So you're even more powerful with the food. But again, the goal is to show you that you can win this game on a budget here. You do not have to have the best of everything. You don't have to spend a lot to get there. So here we go. Get rid of these guys. This enemy up here, do not underestimate this one.
You will go no further.
This one is another one that can kill you if you're not being careful.
Lord, take off.
You definitely want to nuke her. You also don't want to get too close to her. She has this fire thing she does. It's pretty phenomenal. And then she brings all her friends. They get mad, throw a party. They try to hurt you. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. But you know, in the end, it'll all be over soon. Just like that. She's gone. All right. Brings us to the final act, the Inner Grove. Ooh. So, stayed with me this long. Looks like you're along for the ride to the end here. Let's talk strategy here. Okay. If you're on the normal level, which we are, what's going to happen is there's just really one real enemy here that we're going to go after. He's the boss. And what he's going to do is he's going to do one or two things. He's either going to spawn a fire Atronach, which you're going to want to go and kill right away, so that they don't build up and get a whole bunch of them out there trying to kill you. Or he's going to run away, like turning into flame and ending up somewhere else. Which, if he does that, of course, you want to chase him down and start wailing on him again. So, let's introduce ourselves. Us, bad guy, us. Yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say, I just want to kill you. Alright, so here we go. We just start beating on him. So, he plays nice for a little bit. He just sits there and pretty much takes his beating. He'll say, rise, minion, and that's your cue to find the bad guy and get rid of it right away. So, because if you don't, what'll happen is you'll end up with 5 or 6 of those guys you're fighting over time. You don't want that. This guy is really not that much of a problem until he does that. When he runs away, he'll keep shooting at you from a distance, and there's not a whole lot you can do with this build. There's no long-range weapons that you have. So you want to make sure you're building up long-range weapons. You also want to make sure you don't do like I just did, which is allow your magicka to drop. So he said, arise, minion. So what I'm going to do is look for the minion. Get rid of the minion. And then he ran away as well. So I have to find him quick. Because if I don't, he's going to do me in. And you can see that's all I had to do to get back in the game. I'm going to hit him with a nuke here. And while that's going off, I'm going to get my magicka back. And it's back. And there he goes flying again.
Rise, minion.
And he just told a minion to rise. So I'm looking out the corner here to see where this minion came up at. I don't know where it is. Usually they'll come to find you. This guy, I don't know where he went to.
Stop before it's too late.
There's the minion. And up now, see, here's the problem. You see how we got several of these guys now? So what I'm going to do is go around, hit it with 3, which is the wall of lightning, and then a 4, which is puncturing sweep. Okay, I got rid of the minions. I'm not seeing anybody coming after me. Just me and my buddy here. And drop. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. We're going to drop an ultimate on here and him and be done here. 2, 4. He's done. And of course, everything else associated with him is gone. And that's City of Ash. Done. And again, you'll notice I did not go back to the food. I just stayed with where I was. I'm still getting burnt by the fire, though. If I would have dashed into the water, I could have got rid of that. But it is what it is. So again, that's the build. Don't have much else for you tonight. But we can take and go back to map here. Grotwood, Elden Root. See what they have for the other dungeons we could be doing tonight. Dun dun dun! Grotwood. Sounds like cheese, doesn't it? And if you go into here, Elden Root, and head south, you will come across. Like I run on top of the horse. The Undaunted. Let's see what the challenges are for tonight. Frost Vault. No, I'm not feeling that. Crypt of Hearts.
The dark spirit of
And
then the other one is Fungal Grottle.
A dark elf spider.
And let's see which one it is. If it's 1 or 2. 2, not feeling it. Alright. So then I'm going to stop right there. I thank everyone that watched this video. I hope to have better videos coming up in the future. But certainly this is a good start. All right. Thank you again, everyone.